Have you ever felt like something is missing in a relationship, but you cannot pinpoint what? You cannot explain what it is. There's no shouting happening. There's no obvious conflict happening. There's no clear reason to complain. And yet, you feel distant. You feel unseen. You feel emotionally alone, even if you're together. Now, your partner does not express much, they don't open up, they don't respond the way you need. And slowly, you have started adjusting yourself. You've stopped asking, you've also stopped expressing, and you've started settling for less. Because what's happening is actually not loud, it's very, very subtle. And today we are talking about this quiet pattern, this, soft, quiet, subtle pattern that goes unnoticed very often in relationships. It's called emotional withholding. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Flight to Fulfillment podcast. I'm your host, Ratika Seth, your life enhancement coach and the founder of the Freedom Divas Hub. And today's topic is something many women experience, but they struggle to identify. Emotional withholding. Not the obvious kind of conflict that you have. No shouting, no screaming, no yelling, no discussion, no debate, but the quiet absence of emotional availability, the lack of expression, the lack of response, the lack of emotional presence. And here's what makes it very difficult to realize. First, it does not look like control, but very often it functions like control. Because when someone withdraws or withholds emotional connection, it shifts the power in the relationship. It leaves you trying harder now. Correct? It leaves you explaining more. It leaves you giving more. While the other person has started remaining distant. So today, we are going to explore what emotional withholding really is and how one can recognize it before it slowly drains your emotional energy. Firstly, understand that they avoid emotional conversations with you. Whenever you try to express something deeper, whenever you try to talk something deep or emotional, they kind of deflect. They change the topic or they give very short monologuish responses or they dismiss the conversation altogether. Or sometimes they may even say, "Are you mad? It's nothing like this. Topic over." Over time, you begin to feel it's not safe to go deeper here because that's the response you've been getting from this person. Secondly, affection feels very, very conditional. Now, their warmth comes and goes. It's like a hot and cold treatment that you've been getting now. Sometimes they are present, sometimes they are distant. Sometimes they are in a good mood, sometimes they are in a bad mood. Sometimes they are listening to you, caressing you, loving you. Sometimes they are just, how do I put it? They're, they're just ordering you. Correct? Have you seen that happen with you? And you start noticing a pattern slowly. You receive connection, you receive warmth, you receive love, you realize that only when things are on their own terms. When they are getting what they want, they are being nice to you. When they are not getting what they want, or when you are arguing with them, or when you are raising your own point with them, or sharing your point of view with them also, they change suddenly. That connection goes away suddenly. Now, this creates emotional imbalance. And, this emotional imbalance confuses you in the long run. And that's when you just start giving in to things. because you don't want any fights. You don't want any, you don't want any heaviness. You just say, okay, forget it. Who's gonna talk about this now? Thirdly, you feel like you're doing all the emotional work. You are the one who's initiating conversations, you are the one who's initiating plans, you are the one who's expressing feelings, you are the one who's actually trying to understand all the time. So no matter how they are behaving, what they are doing, what they're expecting, you are the one who's giving yourself the explanations also. Oh, this is why this person is behaving like this right now. You are the one who's trying to understand all the time. And this effort is obviously not equally returned. You start feeling like you're carrying the emotional weight of this entire relationship alone on your shoulders. Fourthly, silence is used as a response. So instead of communicating clearly with you or giving you straight, direct answers, they withdraw. They go quiet. They become unavailable. They create distance instead of resolution, and that silence begins to affect you. Because silence, when used repeatedly, becomes a form of control. They are controlling you with their silence. Number 5, you start minimizing your own needs. Now, perhaps the biggest sign is that you've begun to adjust. You call it adjustment. Okay? You stop asking for more. You stop expressing your needs. You try and convince yourself that, okay, fine, okay, this is enough. But deep inside, you cannot lie to yourself. You know this is not. If today's episode resonated with you, here is something very important to remember. Emotional connection is not too much to ask for. Okay? For your relationship to work out in the long run, remember, presence is not too much. Communication is never too much. Consistency is not too much either. The right relationship will not make you shrink. The right relationship will help you breathe, will help you grow. It will, make you feel safe in expressing yourself. It will give you the space, the safe spot. And if conversations like these, what we've had today, are speaking to your heart somewhere right now, I warmly invite you to come and become a part of my community, the Freedom Divas Hub, where women come together to build a life of self-worth and emotional clarity. So, if you enjoyed this episode today, don't forget to follow the Flight to Fulfillment podcast on either YouTube or Spotify or Apple or Substack so that you don't miss out on a single dose of inspiration coming your way. Until next time, this is me, Ratika Seth, your life enhancement coach, signing off for now, but asking you to genuinely like, comment, and share this episode today with whoever needs to hear this. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.